Walt Motorsport look away right now.
Give it a go, Phil.
Right, hello, another day, another video. I'm working back on Project Compo, you'll be pleased to know. I've been doing more of like aesthetic changes to the car. I was never really a big fan of my crinkle painted rocker cover and inlet manifold, so as you do, I decided to take that off. I managed to use a real industrial paint stripper for this, proper carcinogenic stuff. As you can see, it works wonders, and I never really got on too well with the Nitromore stuff. And I used a Worth spray to dash it over so it looks like a more natural aluminium look. So yeah, I've also had an idea in my head of something cool to do for the engine bay. Basically, I grabbed the spare rocker cover off of a silver top, I cut off the original breather and filled up the recess that's usually for the crossover pipe on a front wheel drive car, and then welded it all up, linished it back, smoothed it all off. And then I set up at work a couple of plates to be cut out of 5mm aluminium with the FPE logo in. I used some JB weld, which is rated for 600 degrees C, so hopefully the engine doesn't get hotter than that. And I also tack welded it on and smoothed it all off and bonded it all on with an AN fitting welded in. And then I spent an absolute age sanding it, filling it up with some more JB weld, sanding it again. I won't be in a rush to do another one of these anytime soon. Toshed it over again with the Worth spray. And then I did my internal baffle plate that's welded to the pressed steel shield that's up inside the rocker cover. This just stops oil from flicking up during hard cornering on a front wheel drive car. I can't remember who told me to do this, but it's a good little trick.
Like a glove.
And then obviously whipping the old rocker cover off. The coil and plugs out the way. This thing goes in its place. Looks nice and fresh. Much better.
Yeah, boy.
On the road again! Yeah man, it's good to have the old girl back out. Everything seems to be hunky-dory. The new Digi-Dash and Max ECU is working a treat. So yeah, it makes the choo-choo noises, but it still makes the kazoo boost leak noises. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to have to go through all of the V-bands and the boost pipe joins and check that they're all tight and sealed, because it sounds like a clown car at the moment, isn't it? Everywhere you go. I don't know whether they're good looks or bad looks. Puts a smile on my face, that's what matters. Let's go back and sort that out. Really annoying.
I'm back down Doghouse HQ, meeting up with Lawrence. Si's just popped off. Headed home. He's been doing a lot with the Mark II Escort, the K20 turbo powered Mark II Escort. Loz, where are you at? You down the back? He's hiding. He's in his best get-up. Yeah, basically, he's been using, abusing, breaking and fixing the K20
Everything.
turbo Escort. He's just had the rear lights just randomly falling out. It's obviously gone a bit brittle, so if anyone's got a decent set of Mark II Escort rear lights, let me know. because we need at least one.
I think that one's alright.
Yeah.
For now.
But yeah, basically, you've been smashing it out on doing track days. Where did you go?
Cadwell Park.
You pretty much drove the wheels off the car for like the whole day, didn't you?
Yeah, £120 of fuel.
Well, we'll cut to some in-car footage and external footage of that now. And then you done another track day, didn't you? And you had a load of issues with the water pump.
Water pump broke on the first lap.
So he's running a BMW Pierberg electric water pump with a little digital controller, and that packed up. That was a bad day. But the other track day, you really got some seat time in, which is what it's all about. And you said it drove better on the 13s. So I think we're going to be looking to. He's going to sell the 15s, and he's looking for another couple of sets of 13s to swap tyres around. We've got another track day coming up, so he's playing around with getting a few more of these. They're like the wets Hoosiers that the National Hot Rod Boys run, nice and wide for a big 10J or a 9J wheel. So that's the plan. Yeah, what else have you done? You've literally just recovered from ripping out all of the gearbox, the clutch, the flywheel, because there's still a harmonic issue which has caused problems with the exhaust cracking. So he's got the new Walton tubular exhaust manifold, and to be fair to them, they honoured it and they just re-welded it up for him. And you've had issues where the throttle body just falls off and you put it back on.
Vibrates loose.
Yeah, and we've Loctited the nuts and bolts and put it all back on, and it still falls off. Lawrence is in the process at the moment of going through everything to try and find out and run the engine up to see if there's anything, well, gearbox side that's causing a problem.
It's not gearbox side,
No.
it's all been done.
And you can only go so far before you can't take the flywheel off because you need the ring gear to start the engine. So the next stage would be whip the whole engine out and try and get everything balanced and
Crankshaft,
brilliant.
rotate assembly.
I'll show you the video that shows it like revving, and it looks like an electric toothbrush at a certain RPM, so it's got a real harmonic issue. And you can feel it in the car when you're driving it. It's real. Yeah, it's not nice, and it's obviously causing other issues throughout the car. Oh, you took it up to Santa Pod as well, didn't you?
Santa Pod, yeah. Well,
full day at Santa Pod, getting beaten on, and you ran a 11.6,
something like, yeah.
Yeah, it's getting used and abused, which is what it's all about. And still some teething issues, but it's nowhere near as temperamental that it has been, and it has obviously had a bit of a beating recently with Lawrence at the wheel.
11.6.
Yeah, I thought it was 11.6.
And that was twos up and all, and it was the fastest time twos up.
And what tyres was that on? Little
F3
13s.
tyres.
Ah, so you've got some F3 slicks on some old, I think they're like Weller Steels, so it hooks up pretty well considering it's built and set up for street fast road driving, track driving. It's not really set up for drag racing. Oh, and you got your new steering wheel in there after some oik stole the last one from Ford Fair. So that's all back in there with the buttons, ready to go. Yeah, this is the tubular manifold's work of art from Walton. They do nice stuff. CNC collector with the external gate on it, and they've just done a nice job of blobbing it back in. So yeah, see how long this one lasts with the abuse and the vibrations. I still think you should try and, did they say put a brace on it or recommend putting a brace on it?
Yeah, but he was sort of saying, whatever you come up with, let me know.
Oh, well, just to double check it.
Because there's not much really you can do. You ain't got a great belt.
The issue always with these is there's no good point on the head. You can't put it on the rocker cover because that's on a gasket. It's just a bit of a challenge. Yeah, the Doghouse Racing rig's now got a bed set up. He's cracking on. Well, got lights now. Sorting out the back toolbox and shelving cupboards. It's all going in. So yeah, it's all go at the moment. Just get this turbo back on, and then we'll try and work out how we can do a turbo brace. Right, so Lawrence and I have been chatting about how we can make up some kind of turbo brace. There's not a lot down there, as I said, so we're going to pick up off these 2 bolts on the top of the flange, the exhaust, and then we're going to try and pick up on 3 of these bolts on the exhaust side of the housing, and then have a big fat M10 rose joint sitting down there just to try and tie this lump, oh, not bolt down, this lump to the engine, try and prevent it all from shaking itself to bits, is the plan. Yeah, a little quick sketch of what we're going to do. I head back and draw it up. We'll cut it out of firm 5mm mild steel and blob it all in. Right, it's another Sunday and we're back down at the Doghouse HQ working on the cars. We're going to try and get them ready for a Brands Hatch evenings, like a Fords only track day. So we've got quite a lot of work to do on Lawrence's car, sorting out, trying to make a turbo dampener. He's got a bit of a slow puncher on this tyre and other little bits and bobs he's got to sort out to get it ready. And my car, I've got to put all the roll cage back in, try and sort out, there's that boost leak still, which I haven't got around to sorting out. So yeah, day spent down at the Doghouse, getting the cars ready for hopefully a fun night at the track is the plan. Right, so I've drawn this up on the computer. I think we're only going to use that bit there, and that's going to bolt onto the exhaust side of the turbo housing on Lawrence's car. So I've just got a bit of craft mount, going to spray that onto a bit of 5mm plate and then hand cut this out. I was going to cut it out at work on the laser, but I couldn't get the laser to work, so back to the old school hand cut and finish. Oh, servicing the gearbox just means putting a new gearbox in it for you. Right, so that's the bracket on the turbo. I might chop a bit off of here. I've quickly knocked up this bit of angle iron. Who doesn't love a bit of angle iron on an engine, a race engine? So that goes over the primaries. We're going to pick up on the 2 bolts on top of the manifold is the plan. I don't know if this is going to work. Walton Motorsport look away right now. And then we've got, there's a big M10 rose joint. Walton did say don't solid mount with a rose joint, but Lawrence has ordered a damper that they recommend, but it won't be here in time. So that's going to go on there. I'm going to do some little D-tabs up from the angle iron, so it kind of hopefully triangulates it. I'd rather see it go kind of this way somehow, off the rocker cover, but it's not proper, like that's not properly mounted to that with the gasket, and the bolts are tiny, so we're opting for this option. So see how we get on. Right, so that's our angle iron lower bracket on. Lawrence has just put a couple of little tabs on. We've got our big fat boy M10 rose joint going on, and he's using the old rattle can, dusting the bracket I made earlier. There's his arms. Will that go on? Yeah, they're on. I've just got to wind them on a little bit, clip the turbo around. Yeah, this should do the trick, hopefully. Got new front discs for it. What are these, 2.8? Boys.
Something like that, yeah. Then we crack down the O's.
How bad are they? Oh mate, they're pretty bad.
And there. To be fair, she was stopping, I ain't gonna lie. She was standing up on her fronts. The back wheel
that's a bad one there, it's all the way through.
Yeah.
Right, so the boost leak on my car, I think it's coming from down here. Now with this clamp off, this is all at a funny angle. So I've loosened everything under the engine bay. I'm going to try and clamp this up square, and then I'll tighten everything else back up in the engine bay, and then I'll test it with the 2-step. Let's see if I can build boost and see if it still makes a squeaky noise. Right, just going to use my launch control to see if I can load it up again and make the buzzing noise. Take 2. Hear that? Yeah. Maybe this one on this side. Look at that one. Just tighten it up a bit more. It's pretty tight. Right, take 5, 4, wherever we are.
That's done it. Wait here in the BM. Right, that's one thing ticked off the list. Let's get the roll cage in next. It's too hot for this. So I think we sorted out the boost leak. I've just sorted out perished fuel line, tightened everything up that I can see. Yeah, next up, putting the roll cage in. Front cage is all in. That's an absolute nightmare, as it always is with the bolting cage. Just going to slap the rear arches back on.
Right, this is the first time I've got that back on.
Lawrence has got the turbo on with the
Lucky with that.
bracket and the turbo damper. Got support, turbo damper.
Lucky with
So
that.
now we're going to fire it up with the gearbox off, just to see if we still got the vibration issue. You could see it before when he fired it up. It's got like it looked like an electric toothbrush at a certain RPM. What sort of RPM is it?
It's about 3,000, I think.
Give it a go, see what happens.
Bill. Yeah, this is the last manifold before you got the Walton one made up. You can see from the harmonics, the vibrations. This one is cracked. This one is cracked. This was all cracking and had to re-welded and bodged and braced, and yeah, so out with the old, in with the new, and then if we can make a brace up from the turbo to the engine a bit better, hopefully it'll improve this issue. So yeah, he's just got to find his clutch alignment tool, and then we can throw the gearbox back in. So sort out the back light on that, and this is pretty much good to go. My car's all back together. Could be game on for the track day. Still well happy with how that rocker cover come out. Right, so that's about it. A good day spent at the doghouse. Got the front cage in, arches back on, sorted out some bits with the fuel pipes. Car's ripping now, it's not got a boost leak. I hope you enjoyed this video. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and also don't forget to check out the Big Cartel site. I'll put a link in the description below because it helps support the channel. Until next time, I'll catch up with you guys later. Take it easy.